It's on. Boom.
That's how we're doing it.
Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Did you really?
Needs a new pastor. That's my thesis.
Oh my goodness.
Gaines needs a new pastor. Hey y'all, welcome to Cross Politic on the Fight Laugh Feast Network. I think the last time we were all on the show together, we were all about 15 pounds heavier, maybe 30,
40. Yeah, I mean, whoa, probably.
So good work.
Are we doing confessions? We're doing confessions.
Yeah, no, I thought maybe we would just go like, what habits have we changed in our lives, and just really, you know.
Okay. Yeah, that's what the show is about.
Yeah.
So I've lost about 15 pounds since we last.
What did you change?
I just stopped eating so much bread and drinking so much soda pop.
Yeah.
Was probably the biggest thing. I mean, just.
You were pure soda, like no diet. You were pure soda.
No, I was Dr. Pepper and Diet Coke.
Okay,
but he's like pure Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, but yeah.
But without the diet.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Sure.
So, what about you, Toby? What changed for you?
I started running.
Wow.
Yeah.
And a little bit of lifting.
There you go.
I just started exercising more. But I also I cut a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
I don't do the sugar anymore. I took allergy pills for like 10 years. And I was just like, I just have bad allergies, you know.
Right,
so I could breathe.
Yeah.
And I just kind of went like no sugar. And I haven't taken an allergy pill in like
That's
9 months.
It's so sad when the hippies were right. Like when like really, like when you start doing stuff like that, and you're like, I guess I don't have arthritis, right? Because you're not doing something.
You lost 20 pounds. I don't have arthritis anymore.
Cured.
Okay.
What'd you do?
I stopped eating. Yeah, I mean, just stopped. Junk.
Yeah,
just in all the snacking.
Yeah.
You know, and then when I would travel.
That's the hardest.
When
Travel's the hardest.
Travel, I would just fast.
Oh
like,
wow.
So it would just be like if I got up in the morning, I was flying all day. It was like I'm not going to eat in the airport. I'm not going to eat on the plane. Then when I get there, I'll get a steak.
Yeah.
Something or meats. Like so, I just all those bad habit.
Meat and vegetables.
You know,
meat and vegetables.
Not even vegetables.
No.
Just a lot of meat. It's like a fake carnivore.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, because I don't know what the rules are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what my real secret is? Bananas and peanut butter.
Well, I could do that all day, and I used to, and that didn't help. So I don't know what you're doing,
bro. It's just is it like when I'm like have like the munchies?
Oh well, yeah.
You know, just peanut butter on a banana.
That's good, solid protein and potassium.
That's my
snack.
Do it
all day.
That's my snack.
You don't cramp up, and you get good. Protein.
Yeah. I mean, I don't do it all day.
Right? I could,
but like like
that's the problem.
Darren can't stop.
You know, I'm just like it's my go-to now before I go to bed.
There you go.
Because like I used, it was ice cream, it was cereal,
Yes,
all that kind of
you.
stuff.
Thank you, Jesus.
And and in heaven that's probably what we'll eat. But when our bodies, whatever,
fallen bodies here.
I don't know, and we'll figure out how to make it all in a way that's whatever glorified. But
that's funny.
But now it's like you get like a little bit of munchies. You got to bed. You don't want to go to bed with an empty stomach. You know.
Yeah.
So,
well, and it's nice to kind of do something with your diet because, like for me, it reminded me because you start doing something and it works. It reminded me what I was like that first week as a Calvinist. Like you're just talking to everybody. Like, no. Here's what you need to do.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And
you
you're
need to stop eating every day.
Yeah, and you're so annoying. It was fun to be annoying again.
Yeah. So have you guys, Toby? Talking to you just before the show. How much have you followed the Chip and Joanna Gaines?
Yeah, a little bit.
Debacle.
Yeah, I mean enough to know I know it's happening. I saw the initial clip. I think it was Meg Basham.
Yeah.
Who shared the clip of the advertisement for their new show.
Yeah.
Do we have that? Are we going to show that?
Yeah, we're going to show that.
I haven't even watched the whole thing. I just read what she said, and there's a gay couple. You got to turn off your notifications, dude.
Yes, sir.
But there was
Bank's trying to control my music.
Yeah,
and he keeps texting me about. Don't tell me how to do my music, Bank. Okay, all right, go ahead.
Whoa. It was, but like there's some like gay couple on their new show, and so I shared that with my family because like we were all like Chip and Joanna.
Chip and Joe.
Who hasn't loved some fixer-upper in there, right?
Yeah,
100%.
And we stopped through Waco. Is that where it is, I think?
Yep. Yeah, Waco.
Before
David Koresh was there.
Right.
I mean, thanks to them, we don't even associate.
That's right.
With David Koresh.
It's pretty amazing what Chip and Jonah,
the brand that they built off Waco, because Waco was forever.
If you're over 40.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
David
that's
Koresh.
remember. Yeah, you
Yeah.
remember
You
that.
see the fire.
The fire,
Yeah.
exactly, and then the police and the FBI and all that.
Right.
And what's their place called there? It's
Magnolia is their production company.
Yeah, but they have a place there.
Yeah, like the silos and all that
I've,
stuff.
I've been there.
I've been there too.
I've been there, walked through it. You know,
really?
we bought some merchandise.
Okay.
Brought it home, and my wife's like, I don't even know if I can wear that hat you got me anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know, I feel that. It's really disappointing.
Well, let's bring our people up to speed who haven't caught this, but there's been a bunch of back and forth on social media, and I'm actually pretty grateful for it. I think we're some of the
Actual back and forth
on social media.
Yeah,
Yeah, even Chip's responded. I'll show some of the Chip's replies to social. Really, Joel Berry and John Root, our boys Joel Berry and John Root.
Oh yeah.
And it's I think the healthy pushback. The Twitter's got a good muscle and a bad muscle.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. But it was a really, I think, Christian pushback on what they were doing, and Chip had to respond to it. Okay. But anyways, here's the trailer. And so let me just set this up real quick. Basically, Chip and Joanna, I think that at one point they were working with Warner Brothers on this, and their Magnolia production company. And the whole setup for the story is basically bringing kind of reality TV and bringing families to live like it's 1880s again. Okay. So that's the setup. And
Back to the frontier.
Here's the trailer.
Going back to the frontier is going to be life-changing for all of us.
We want to go backward so that we can go forward in the right direction.
Makeup and jewelry removal there, please. Lip gloss at least, right? Everything must go.
They're taking off their
I
makeup.
want my kids to learn humility and hard work.
All of your tech in here, please.
Are you guys ready to get rid of these devices?
No.
No?
I'm at a loss for words that I have to give up all of this to go back to the frontier.
Welcome to your frontier.
Oh my God.
This is really it. This is all we have.
There's only 2 beds. I'm not sharing a bed.
Why are we complaining about this?
I didn't anticipate it would be this difficult just to find 3 vegetables for dinner tonight.
We sit on that.
It's the 1800s.
This house,
it's out potty,
living situation.
Outhouse.
Yeah. It's just hard.
This is what you have to do to survive.
Whatever it takes.
1 out of 3 families fail when they're on the homestead, so we need to work together.
I don't miss my phone at all.
This type of time out with my boys, invaluable.
There are forever lasting memories in my childhood, and I hope this is one of those memories for you.
This is what the frontier is all about.
So on Max, and I think it's on actually YouTube TV
July
too.
10. It's already out.
Yeah, so it's already out. First episode's already out. And then here's
So there's this gay couple all the way through this. Like there's these 2 dudes with kids.
Yeah, two dudes. And let me actually just play this next clip here. Go ahead and wait for the next clip. Go ahead and roll next clip.
Arriving next for the ultimate digital detox.
Oh, look at this.
You guys ready? Yep.
Our Dallas-based dads, the Hannah Riggs.
All of your tech here, phones, devices.
Okay.
What's first? No more work. No more emails.
No more pings, no more bings everywhere we go.
Are you guys ready to get rid of these devices?
No.
Alexa, good morning.
I'm Jason Hannah.
My name is Joe Riggs.
We have our twin boys, Ethan and Lucas, that are 10 years old.
I took the lead on kind of the application process. When I first saw the flyer on social media, there was a gay couple on the flyer. And so that initially kind of sparked my interest, and I was very much intrigued in learning more about the show and kind of what that experience was going to be. When our boys were born, our twin boys were born via surrogacy in 2014, like we faced some legal challenges. And so we've always felt it to be important that we try to be an example for same-sex couples. And so it's super honored that when they were choosing 3 modern day families, that they did choose a same-sex couple as a modern day family, because we are, and like we are your neighbors and your coworkers. And so it was this great, amazing opportunity to normalize same-sex couples and same-sex families.
Oh, okay.
A little more detail there.
Yeah.
And then Chip Gaines.
I would never guess what took the initiative.
The other one who looks a little more feminine, a little more passive.
Like,
yeah,
I took the initiative.
Yep.
Like he did.
Guys, I want to skip the next clip and go to Chip Gaines' tweet about this. And so when this started becoming public, it hit the fan for Chip and Joanna on this. So here's Chip basically responding to the Christian response on Twitter.
To the pushback.
Yeah.
Talk, ask questions, listen, maybe even learn. Too much to ask of modern American Christian culture. Judge first, understand later / never. It's a sad Sunday when, quote, non-believers have never been confronted with hate or vitriol until they are introduced to a modern American Christian broken heart emoji.
Yeah. So Chip's kind of basically, I mean, I didn't see any vitriol in the response from Christians. You know, it was like Joel Berry, John Root, Megan Basham.
I'm sure there's some rude people out there.
Sure.
I mean, there's always some rude people out there.
Give it to them, you know.
But Meg certainly not.
Yep.
And John Root not.
Yep.
Like these are people that like I know are thoughtful, engaging Christians.
Mm-hmm. But as you dig deeper into this, bring up the let's look at the John Berry Chip Gaines little conversation, or a little back and forth, very small back and forth, just to give you a little more context. You can read it.
Joel says, "You'll see no hate from me. I'm just sad. I can't let my kids watch your show now since I'm trying to protect their eyes and hearts from the lies of the world, lies you're now participating in. Also, filter out some of the online vitriol and consider taking to heart some of," we don't know what else he says. Doesn't have the whole. But anyways, Chip responds and says, "Don't be sad, Joel. Plenty of other stuff out there. I'm sure everyone will be fine. But I sincerely appreciate the advice about taking some of the thoughtful, heartfelt encouraging instructive criticisms to heart, and I certainly will."
Yeah. So I think the frustrating response from Chip about basically he pulls out, you know, Matthew 7, do not judge, you know, kind of thing, and which is not a good interpretation. But that really took off. I mean, my friend Dr. Owen Anderson wrote a big article in The Blaze on Do Not Judge as it related to this, and that article blew up all over the place. I think not Christianity Today, another Christian news outlet, there's a number of articles that came out and just really blew up the story. And then here's Megan. So Megan, you know, you don't want her getting to research nothing.
No, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You're in big trouble if Megan Basham comes after you. So after hearing from multiple sources, this is Megan Basham, that at Chip Gaines and at Joanna Gaines have close professional and personal ties to a strange polyamory arrangement in which a husband and father brought another man into the home and they are now together while the wife remains to raise the 4 children is true. The man in question is Billy Jack Bronner, Magnolia photographer. I'm told that the Gaines did not rebuke this situation, but instead have affirmed Billy Jack in his choices. The rot in Waco goes a lot deeper than I suspected.
And bring up a picture of Jack's family. So there you go. There's Mom, Jack, and Buddy over here.
And
so they're a polyamorous
gay lover on the side.
Yeah, gay lover on the side kind of relationship. And then here's just a direct connection.
That's not dangerous at all.
Not at all.
I'm sure all those children are perfectly safe.
Yeah, 100%. And here's Joanna supporting basically Jack's polyamory.
So this is like Instagram, Billy Jack. He's like, I've written pages and pages and pages about this. It's all I've ever been able to do. I bet someday I'll tell my story, and I bet someday I'll explain everything. But for now, I don't feel that I owe anyone an explanation who hasn't already gotten one. So I'll just say this. I was a gay little boy who grew up absolutely hating myself, and I'm a gay man who is learning to absolutely love myself. I am so good. Oh my goodness. I am so good. I am raising babies who are so good with my best friend on the planet, understatement, who is so good. I'm in love with a man who is so good.
I got you.
My love is so
I got that somewhere.
So good. My life is so good, and I'm so thankful. No more hate. And then Joanna Gaines replies, yes. Billy Jack Bronner, you are so good.
Yeah.
We love you. Heart emoji. So yeah, that's pretty
so good.
Pretty
that's
disgusting.
So good.
It's so good.
Disgusting.
Well, remember, Chip and Joanna Gaines kind of had the LGBT movement go after them, like in 2017 or something like that.
Man, I was going to bring that up as try to contribute to this show because I'm just enjoying.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying you too.
What all happened?
Well, when you called me, I was golfing a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
While fasting.
Well,
fasting, not eating any food.
On the course, getting steps in, losing weight, continuing to look so good.
Yeah.
Hashtag so good.
So good.
But some context that, or at least an observation I wanted to bring to the table was Fixer Upper, in my mind, was the last show in appointment TV.
Appointment TV, meaning it starts at 5 p.m. Watch it.
We're going to be there. It's at 8 o'clock. It's on TLC or whatever, HGTV, right?
Yeah.
It was the last show about 10, 11 years ago. When you think about it, that was the end. That was one of the last shows I can remember. Hey, it's on at this time.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And after that, that was it. After Fixer Upper, there really is no more appointment TV. But it was right at that time, interestingly enough, that right at that moment, there was a little bit of LGBT. It was like it was coming for them.
Yeah.
They're at this church, or a pastor said, and it just sort of went away. And I remember thinking, wow, I'm amazed that they somehow avoided all of that, because everyone was getting hit. You guys have talked all about it. I mean, you've covered all that. And so it's more fascinating to me that here we are 11 years later, and count the few years before that. So we're at almost 15 years of them doing their show.
Mm-hmm.
That somehow none of this happened prior. To me, that's the sort of amazing part of the story, is not that it's happening right now, whatever this is. And by the way, they're just executive producers. Kind of interesting. It's like, I think they're executive producers. Their name's on everything that's on Magnolia. Right. So it's not like it's them doing Fixer Upper with this couple.
Right. Yeah.
But somehow throughout their entire career of them doing Fixer Upper and them being there with people, I don't even think they ever had a gay couple. I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong.
Not on Fixer Upper,
right?
But Jack, their producer,
right?
He's a Magnolia
right
guy,
right? But I'm just saying, it kind of what they were bringing, right.
Yep,
so,
right.
Well, I think that's why this is such a big deal, because it's such. Like, I think it's been so, whatever, for lack of a better
gayless,
word, wholesome. It was like you said, it was the kind of thing you would sit down with your family and we would watch it and be like, man, look at this.
Yeah. No, and I think so to me, when I heard about all this, my sort of, I think I've had some thoughts later, maybe we'll get into, but I was, as all this sort of came up, my thought was, why do people care? I guess maybe I didn't realize that people still had a connection, because that's kind of been over for a long time.
Yeah.
As far as, not that Magnolia hasn't grown and become this massive thing, but it's become a little, just a part of everything in the magazine and all that. Yeah. It's become a little just sort of
own brand, a brand on its own.
Yeah, it's like it's
they've
beyond,
branched out in their brand.
It's beyond them. So
and
now when I saw that, I was like, oh, it's not even really their show per se, but their name's on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's I kind of wanted to bring a quick, like, what happened in the last 15 years. It's amazing that this hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
And now it's happened.
Yeah.
And I'll let you guys jump in, and then I'll sort of come in on what I think.
And to your point there,
that.
what can happen is that their company, Magnolia Productions, contracts or Warner contracts with their name and their branding.
Sure. Oh yeah.
And then Warner produces all the details and does all the process of getting the right, the families on the show. So Chip and Joanna might not even have known that's possible.
But I mean, we can cut this out, but in the 1800s, I don't think you want to do a show with black people and gay people. I don't think.
No, if it's 1880s, you're killing the sodomite.
I don't
it's getting the death penalty.
I mean, to me, I was always like, are they really like? This is the premise.
Right. I know. Like, I thought the same thing.
This is really is really strange.
Well, and the line at the very beginning, we have to go back in order to go forward.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's so seductive, in a certain way, because it's like, yeah, we do.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, but you're not.
Right.
Yeah.
Not with sanitation. Like all these like go back to go forward things.
Right.
I mean, it's a little Kamala-y, right? It's like
a dumb saying,
or just or it's
a meaningless saying.
Yeah, well, there's meaning there. Like even the weird like Kamala stuff. Like I get what she's saying. Like I was never as harsh. Like I got what she was saying. It was just
because you're from California.
Yeah, and I'm
people talk like that all the time.
I'm an artist. I've got 20 acres. Farm hay.
No, but I think
your own silos.
It's one thing. I don't know. I think for some that it's trying to take something that is completely unnatural though, and it normalize it.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you go back and you do that, it's like then are we going to see the death scene when they have AIDS?
Right. Yeah.
Like, are at the end of the show, or what about if we find out that they've been molesting the boys?
Yeah.
I mean, does that come out too in the story?
Yeah.
Of course not. And that's not the point. I mean, that's not what.
Yeah, but I think we know the narrative. Yeah, but heterosexual couples are molesting kids all day long. It happens all the time. There's actually more of that happen. I mean, we sort of know what the script is. If anything, it seems a little. I guess my sort of positive spin on this is it actually seems so played out, it's kind of funny. Like the whole thing just seems funny. I mean, just as much as I think evangelical culture is really funny, I think gay culture is really funny. Like
it's like a
that's
band.
Gay culture, like that's funny.
Yeah, it's like a follow-up narrative, like a band who sounds like Coldplay.
Right. Yeah.
It's like we're running the gay play as Christians now, and it's like you're like Coldplay.
Yeah, there's
you're
really
like Mumford and Sons.
Yeah, it's just there's something about it, because I think we're going to touch on like art and Christians doing things and all that, but like it just seems like a really I'm shocked that this was greenlit.
Yeah. Well, and so
it's gonna flop.
A couple things. Well, it might
maybe
now.
Not now.
It might now that there's so much pushback, but a couple things. One of the questions I have is okay. Because I think I tweeted something out like, if you're promoting gay culture on a TV show and you're a Christian, then either your pastor needs to be having real conversations with you, or even under church discipline, because you're promoting evil. But I could also, I said something like, and you don't have a good biblical reason in my tweet or something like that, because I was thinking part of the background, I could see having a gay couple on our show and having a honest conversation with them. Having a real debate.
Why you're pointing at me?
Having a real debate. I'm doing this.
No,
I'm doing both hands.
No, you were going this way.
And so I could see where we had Greg Johnson on. All right, I could see having a gay person on our show.
Sure.
But if you're promoting and pushing like what they're doing, and they're saying this is a family friendly show, and then you say these two dads are family, and then these two dads have two sons that are all family. I mean, you're promoting great wickedness and evil.
Right.
So that's where I think this is. That's the egregious part about this, is that they package the show in such a way where it's like, hey, we're all families in this 1880s, and we're going to live like the 1880s. But first of all, there's no gay surrogate dads in the 1880s with two boys in the 1880s. There's none of that. Second of all, you have a real legal problem if you're gay dads in the 1880s. With a potential possibility of the death penalty being on the table for you in the 1880s. And then lastly, you got Chip and Joanna. I mean, for a bunch of Christians to point out how promoting gay couples is really bad and not good and not healthy, and you're siding with the wrong team here, Chip, and then Chip responds saying, hey, stop judging us.
Right.
He's judging us for judging him.
Yeah, I mean, there's self-refuting aspect to that.
And for him to respond that way, something's changed in them in the last, 10 years. Because Chip, I forget the actual LGBT. I should have had my producers find this, but they stood up against kind of the LGBT mob back in the day.
Yeah.
Like I said, like 10 years ago or something like that happened. And Chip responded. He tweeted out when they had that thing happen that he's like, I'm so glad we're going to church today. This has been hard to deal with this, and we're going to church today. Kind of a tweet. And then here he is now, like defending the promotion of a gay couple. So as a producer, like how do you sort through that? Like you
sit in church week after week, embracing the truth of God's word. You believe the gospel and claim Jesus Christ as your Lord. Yet you continue to struggle with pornography. You feel like a hypocrite, returning to the sin you hate that mocks the God you love. You desperately wonder, is lasting freedom even possible? Yes, you can overcome pornography, but not alone. 2 Timothy 2:22 says, now flee from youthful lusts and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart. Only by repeatedly running from sin to Christ with other believers can you hope to enjoy lasting freedom. you can live with purity and integrity. Take courage, seek accountability, and do whatever is necessary. Get equipped at accountable2you.com.
I think we take for granted, the sort of nature of, I was thinking about coming over, like, what I'm actually going to bring, you call me, say, you want to come over, jump on the show. And it just made me think that, look, the Christian life is hard enough. It's just a horrible decision to make in life. Right? It ruins everything in one sense.
If you wanted to have an easy, successful life,
don't be a Christian.
Following Jesus is not the way.
And then if you do, where you live and the culture you're around and the church you have access to is probably going to be 90% if you succeed, if you get through it. Right. So when I moved here, it was like, I'm not going to survive.
Moscow?
No, where I was living.
Oh, yeah.
When I moved here, it was like, this is the only chance I've got.
In LA movie world.
Yeah. And even I was Ventura County. That's still a Republican county. Look, LA is whatever, but 90% of everywhere else in California is still pretty red.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so is that Bill dying?
He's still with us.
Still with us.
All right, okay.
It's a good cough. He's still alive. But still, like, it's hard, right? And if you don't have a community, and not like that community people talk about, like, good Christian community, like, no, if you don't have like real solid preaching, people around you that just have some basic convictions, some basic convictions, you're done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would doubt the majority of people have that around them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's going to create multiple areas of, look, I'm a horrible Christian and I'm barely making it being here, right, around really great people, really solid families, really great preaching. I can't fathom other people.
Yeah.
And then give them success, give them money. I'm sure they're working hard. It's not like any of that's coming easy for them.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah,
But still, just not having people around you. But what Meg did, it sort of takes what I just said, but then it goes one step further and you go, oh, like, I get it. Like, we've got this deal. It's Warner's. We can't control everything. It's like having a store. It's like our investing in the stock market. I can't control everything that my money is investing in, but okay, they're going to put our name on this show, all that.
They decided to have a gay couple. Warner decided to bring the gay couple, whatever.
I get it. It's fine, whatever. Yeah. Moving on, and then use your money to promote other things, all that. And, it's fine when our friends plunder the Egyptians, but I guess you can't plunder internally, like, whatever. Okay. But then what Meg does is Meg kind of pulls the curtain back a little bit, and then you go, oh, that's fully compromised.
Right.
Like, that's fully compromised.
Right.
Like,
it's not just over there where this company that maybe you contracted with is doing something that we wouldn't have picked that, but that's what they did. But we've got their own close friends that they're fully saying, you are so good.
Yeah. Like, once you do that, then it's sort of like non-federal vision worldview. And I just go, no, you're not a Christian, and that's cool. That's fine.
Yeah. Just be honest.
Yeah.
be consistent.
That's not like, that's something so, it just, and you can try to walk it back any way that you want, but if that's your close relationship, if you're telling me you can't find another photographer, there's, it's so.
Well, even then, let's say
really creepy.
Let's say I was on a movie set and they had a gay photographer come and take pictures.
Right.
Like, but what Joanna is doing is actually promoting and affirming him in his sin. Yeah. That's the problem.
Right.
It's not that sinners and non-Christians do work for me, or I work for them.
Yeah. But I think you're exactly right, Darren. That's one of the things I was talking to my wife about this, and I was like, I put money on it that their church has trained them in all this.
Yeah.
Like I put money like their pastors, like I'm sure they're talking to their pastor.
I have a clip.
And
I have a clip for you.
Oh, okay. Right. Oh. But their pastor's like, I'm probably telling them, like, this is how you're a witness. This is how you minister to these people. Yeah. And like, you just be really, really patient with them and encouraging and win them and like I don't know what kind of church they go to, but like I'm just assuming it's like a main.
The church has a green room for their pastor.
Okay. Oh, okay. But I would imagine it's an American evangelical church.
Yeah.
And my guess is
in
that
Texas.
I would guess that like a bunch of what's on their statement of faith would be just like boilerplate evangelical Christianity.
Yeah.
And they want people to get born again. They want people to have a relationship with Jesus. They want I'm just guessing. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But boilerplate American evangelicalism says the only way to win sinners is basically by affirming them in their sin.
Yeah.
In a lot of different ways, and just trying to sneak in, but don't you want Jesus
more than your sin?
Right. Don't you want Jesus? But you don't get a message like what Darren just said a minute ago. If you want to have a happy life, don't follow Jesus.
Right.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's all. It's
against the grain.
That message is. There's no churches saying that.
Right.
Yeah.
But Jesus said it.
Right.
Like if you follow me, you're going to get crucified. You want to get crucified?
Yeah.
Your parents are going to hate you. Your family's going to hate you. Your friends are going to reject you. If they hated me, they're going to hate you.
Right.
It really is going to work out. It really is going to be good in the end.
Yeah.
But it's going to suck for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense to me because for whatever reason I've been thinking a lot about this lately. It almost makes me understand the Word of Faith movement a little bit more because at least the Word of Faith movement, the Word of Faith brothers and sisters out there are serious.
Yeah.
They're serious. Like they're down for that spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
They're down.
Yeah.
They're acknowledging there's things that you need to come against.
Yeah.
You got to call angels down on things. There's a war going on, right? And it kind of made me think, man, I wonder how much even that was in response to what now is evangelicalism, like the softness.
Yeah,
right. Because they're into it.
Yeah.
But the kind of, and I used to hate sort of painting evangelicalism with this big brush, but it is.
Well, I will take. I think honestly, I might get in trouble for saying this.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, you are. That's why you're here. But like, I think I'd honestly take a pastor who knows that we're in a spiritual warfare, who breaks out in speaking in tongues in the middle of it all, over the pastor you made me watch last week who was riding a roller coaster into his church service.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, which one of these people? Like, he thinks it's a game.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He thinks it's a game.
Right.
And this other pastor says, no, this is life and death. It's demons and angels.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's more real.
Right.
That's more true.
Yeah, yes. That's right.
And we'll go back to COVID. Who were the pastors standing?
It was the Word of Faith brothers.
It was the Charismatics.
Right.
It was the Charismatics, John MacArthur, and Doug Wilson.
Right.
Yeah.
That was it.
And a bunch of other Reformed and even
Tom Askell. Tom Askell was fighting.
Yeah. He's with John MacArthur.
Yeah.
There was a lot of others, but I'm just saying, those are the leads. The leads were Charismatics, John MacArthur and his crew,
right,
and Doug,
and
CRC crew,
right.
Well, and that's what actually, to me, the bigger story. We're starting to get to it. To me, the bigger story is what church they go to.
Yeah,
like this is not coming from nowhere.
Oh yeah,
they've been discipled. First of all, they're graduates from Baylor. Both Chip and Joanna Gaines, and if you just followed Baylor recently, I've known back in 78, back in 98, I had two friends go to Baylor, and within a year or two, lost their faith.
Yeah,
like Texas Christian University, Baylor. I know TCU. I couldn't confirm this, but TCU has LGBT dorms.
Oh, good.
On campus.
Texas Christian University.
Yep, big. They don't even say
TCU.
That's all they do now is TCU. They don't even say Texas Christian University anymore. Yeah. You look at all their marketing literature. No Texas Christian University anymore. It's TCU. Right. Baylor for years, and I would say probably
Christian.
Probably. Oh yeah, it's Baptist. Baylor's huge Baptist.
Oh yeah. Oh, I just assumed.
They've had known LGBT professors or professors that are at least LGBT friendly. They've had professors that have said all sorts of horrible things. I think they even had known non-Christian professors at Baylor. And then recently they took a big like $700,000 grant from an LGBT organization that took off. And apparently their president had multiple tweets being LGBT friendly, and apparently goes to some sort of LGBT friendly church too. But Chip and Joanna Gaines, they're in Waco, Texas. They're in Texas. But they're at the Antioch Church in Waco. Antioch Waco's their Twitter handle, and here's a clip from their pastor.
Many of you guys know Dorothy Abshire. We got her back today. She's going to be sharing the word with us. And I was just thinking of these spring break trips. I think it's probably where we met when you were probably a sophomore. And we began those trips in Guadalajara, maybe, in those days. And I mean, this gal can preach the gospel on the streets, dramas, dances. She did everything. And eventually, Laura and I had the privilege of her living with us while she was doing the training school. Eventually, she met a young Jeff Abshire, married, kids, life, the whole deal. But more than anything, when I say, when we have people teach and preach, I always say, hey, if I wouldn't let them babysit my kids, I won't let them preach to this church. And our trust
Bar solo.
In Jeff and Dorothy and in the grace of God in our life is just up here. And she has a word for us today. We just sat through the first service, and I just picture in my mind things are going to fall off of us today as we hear from Dorothy and hear the word of God. So let's give it up for her. Actually, let's stand up and give it up for Dorothy Abshire.
Okay.
Just promoting sin in the church, basically.
Right.
And then he has the whole congregation stand up and clap for this woman who's about to preach to the people. Right. And so that's the kind of church. So it's no wonder that Chip and Gaines, I mean, if you're letting sin like that in your church, letting a woman preach in your church, just directly, clearly disobeying God's word, it's no wonder Chip and Joanna can make this leap and this jump into promoting and affirming like homosexual a homosexual show or show with homosexuals in it, and a staff member who needs to be confronted with their own sin. Yeah. No, so the church is the bigger issue. It's the pastor is that the problem. Right. The pastor's not going to excommunicate him, not going to put him through church discipline, not going to rebuke him, not going to hold him in any sort of accountability. It's this pastor is affirming them in this process.
When are we? Oh, I mean, when are we gonna? That man is so soft.
Right.
Like, when does that? It's so hard. Like, I'd probably be down to hear whatever she's got to say. She's got a word. Okay. I'd be probably more on the liberal side and be like, I'd be curious what she has to say more than what he has to say. No, I mean, for real. No, I bet she has a very sincere word that she wanted to bring to the congregation, right? And she, and I look at her and I go, she looks like a woman. Like, okay, she looks like a woman, right? And I look at him, and I go, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is.
If you think that preaching is primarily sharing
a word for us,
sharing a word, which I would say is a feminine thing, then I would much rather hear a woman do that.
She's more genuine.
She's better at it,
right?
But so what we did though is we downgraded preaching,
right?
And then we defined it in such a way that women actually are better at that thing, than like relating to people, being intuitive,
right?
Yeah, I mean, every woman has a higher.
I don't know. He looks pretty good at it. I'm going to be honest.
No.
At that, but he looks pretty good at that too.
The side hug on stage.
Oh,
no, I mean, but that's the thing is, it's
like,
not.
I wouldn't let him watch my kids.
Right.
Probably her. Right. You'd let her.
I let her watch. I let her watch my kids. She looks great.
That's the point.
But
I mean, he look. Wait, no, I'm sorry. You just this ecstasy, like this weird ecstasy, Jesus. Like people just get like this. It just like look at him right there. He's just like he's having the tingles.
Right.
Yeah. Like it's just strange. Like I just wonder when we're gonna. It's funny. We go to Christ Church and we get all this accusation. Like you have these people, you have pedophiles. You have. I look at that to me like that. Like I wouldn't let him in our church. Like I'd be so concerned. Like
let's talk outside.
Oh my! Like that. It is so uncomfortable.
Our security team would definitely pick him up.
I mean, I don't want him in the men's bathroom. I mean, like, it just like, it is so like a skit. It's like Waiting for Guffman. The fact that this guy is up there, it looks like a caricature that you would do of like soft, weird. It's just the weird ecstasy Christian thing. Like I used to, I had friends with, plenty of friends smoked pot before it was legal. And a lot of my clients would smoke pot. And they'd always say, you want to smoke? I go, no. Never liked it, even when I did. And I said, well, do you mind if I do? I go, well, I kind of do. And they go, why does it offend you? I go, no, but like people on weed are like masturbatory.
Okay.
It's inward.
Yeah.
If you're around people that get high, they're
in their head.
Oh, it just feels so good. They're
Right.
like when people have a drink together, they kind of get social, they connect, you sort of start, but people on weed are just feeling themselves. And when I see this Christianity thing, it's like these Christian pastor men are like feeling themselves with faith. It's just so creepy.
Yeah. I think you're right. And unfortunately, I think this is the American church.
Right.
Like this is America.
This is probably a normal scenario in the average American church.
I bet the majority of evangelical churches you walk into on a Sunday morning will have this vibe.
Yeah. And this is why the Reformed world is maybe weirder.
Right.
Because it's so in opposition to this.
Right.
And if you kind of start taking the word of God seriously,
right,
like a little bit, even just a little bit, it's not this.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Right. And there's nowhere to go.
Right.
And so you get a Moscow, you get a whatever, but it's going to create its own little weird problems because of that. But that's because it's in opposition to this.
You're exactly right. And I think also, I mean, again, just to connect, I think you're already connecting it, but just be really explicit. You have this kind of man,
right,
as a pastor,
right,
it's kind of effeminate.
What you are discipling everybody in is effeminacy,
right?
It is this twisting of our sexuality,
right? Yeah.
And so when your photographer says, "I'm in love with this man," like you've been trained in it, you've been discipled in it, and you already have figured out a way to disobey God's clear word on women teaching and having authority. And so it's like you already have done the exegesis. I mean, every church, every denomination that has said women can preach. None of them, I mean, maybe there's one exception out there, but
they die out.
Virtually none of them have been able to say, but no gay sex.
Yeah.
Right.
But no sodomy, no homosexuality. No, you don't. Like it's the same exegesis, that says, well, when Paul says, I do not permit a woman to have authority over man.
It's cultural.
Well, that was in that moment. There were these. It was a context.
There's female gods and
all this stuff, and it's like you've done the exegesis,
right?
Yeah.
And now when God hands them over to do foul, perverted things because their foolish hearts are dark. Well, in that moment in Rome, like that's what happened, and that's what needed to happen. You've already done it.
Right.
You can explain it away. You can explain it all away. And so it's like when Jesus comes and says, if you want to follow me, you're going to be crucified. Your sin has to die. All of it has to die.
Right.
And like, well, yeah, I mean, in that moment, like that was a cultural expression, and but you've done that to the whole gospel.
Yeah. It's not like that work can't be done. That's the bummer is there's a lot of fun work people can do exegetically, and you can look at. I mean, there's a lot of fun, but.
Sure.
But when the culture
Many
is
of you
so,
guys know Dorothy Abshire.
Hello, Dorothy. You're just rubbing it in now. It's sad because it makes you have to hold the line even more. It would be great to be able to sit down and work through some weird stuff in the Bible and even look at those issues culturally, what was going on, because that stuff is true. That stuff was happening. Okay, but then how should we think of it, right?
Yeah.
But when it's used to negate,
it's weaponized.
Yeah, then it's like, well, I guess I just got to stay a fundamentalist here. I can't even have any fun kind of breaking down what was really maybe going on. And maybe
you keep the fun in fundamentalism.
Well, I do, I do try to do that. And it really is sad to see, but I think the point you just made, Toby, is really right on, which is, again, I know gay culture. I've been around gay culture, had clients, people, business, all that. Like hardcore, like people who will look, because like you can either talk about gay culture, but gay culture is a real thing.
Sure.
And even within gay culture, they'd look at that dude and they'd say, that's.
They try to hit on him.
What would they say? I'm sorry. What they would say he's trying too hard?
No, and honestly, they'd say that's a fag.
Yeah.
So in gay culture,
sure.
I worked around.
They identify.
I work around butch homosexuals. Like dudes you wouldn't know. Like you'd have no idea. Right? They look at those dudes. Right? Because in their own culture, it's a real thing. They get to identify that. Right? How they're acting, what they're doing. They would sit here, you wouldn't even know. They'd look at that guy and they'd start laughing. Right? I mean, so that is happening. If we're connecting all of this now to the sort of subject of Chip and Joanna, if this is the top down, Of course. Like there's
no surprise.
Yeah.
A couple things additionally. One is I think it's I think it's worth just underlining. It's easy to, there's sort of the gross factor. There's the ick factor. It's just like, that's not a man. That's disgusting. Sodomy is disgusting. Yeah. It's, effeminate, all that kind of stuff. But I remember that this is a terribly destructive sin. It's destructive. Yeah. And so the couple.
It destroys themselves and society.
Well, hold on. Let me give you the ick factor for 1 second.
Okay, go ahead.
The disgusting.
You still want to do that part?
Argument. Well, no, because that gets thrown around a lot, right? Yeah. But now ask the question in their worldview. At what age will it be okay for those fathers to have sex with their sons?
Right. Yeah.
And based on, and why is that wrong?
Yeah.
Right.
It's ick.
Right.
The only answer they have is, well, that's gross.
Right. Yeah, but they already threw the exegesis out the window.
Right.
There's no scriptural reason why.
But they've already told you can't use the gross factor.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, but
the age of consent, Darren.
Okay. So age of consent. Let's go when those kids are 25.
Yeah. Can they? Yeah.
Right.
Right. Why not?
Is there anything wrong between them and their father having gay sex?
Right. Yeah.
The only argument they have is it's gross.
Right.
No, like there's no so.
Right.
The ick argument apparently is we can use the ick argument too.
No, and I'm not setting it aside. I'm not saying it's a
I
bad
know
argument.
you're not, but
it's totally a good argument. I just want to add to it.
Yeah.
And the point I was making is it actually connects with what you're saying, because it's not just an ick factor. I mean, like, we are talking about the likelihood of the abuse of children, and they're already being abused in the sense of they're not being given a Christian family.
A mom.
Well, you have two different families here. You got the one on the show, the two dudes who bought a human being.
Right.
Yep.
So there's, I just want to, I'd love to have Chip sitting here, and Chip, is it okay to buy human beings?
Right.
And I assume he would say, of course not.
Right.
Okay, that's what the couple did. So, like, the irony, of course, of having a black family on there, which, no doubt is there's going to be themes in that story about slavery and freedom and emancipation following the war and all the rest of it, which, great. But, like, you have a couple on there who bought their kids.
Right.
They bought them.
I wonder if the black family says anything about that.
Right. Like, where'd you get the?
How much you pay for those white boys?
I don't think that came up in
How
the
much
script.
you pay for those white boys?
No, exactly. But that's what they did. They bought those children. They bought them.
Yep.
And through surrogacy, which is an evil thing.
Yeah.
You're buying and selling human souls.
Yeah.
And you're creating a so-called family. He wants it to be normalized, but you're creating a so-called family that is depriving these children of a mom.
Yeah.
And you're foisting upon them this twisted, monstrous figure of a family. That is abusive. That is horrific. That is inhumane.
And if that wasn't bad enough, they're going to make them live like it's the 1800s.
Right.
Does the gay couple enslave the black family? Is
life
that what
wasn't
happens?
weird enough for the 10-year-old.
Does the gay couple buy the black family and enslave the black family? It's 1880s.
But
let's go.
You've got the same thing, but the polyamorous family, the photographer who's invited his gay lover to live with them. I mean, so she's his concubine, I guess now. Basically, it's I don't know, or he's the I don't know who's the concubine.
Is that one weird? I don't know what is the bar weird in my own sort of brain here? I don't know why that one weirds me out more than
the throuple.
The throuple.
What was hilarious is before I found out that there's a throuple involved, I responded to Chip, or I retweeted Chip, or whatever, and I said, I bet Chip would have no problem promoting a throuple either. Because if you don't have a problem with the gay couple on your show, why would you have a problem with throuple?
And he doesn't.
And apparently Megan does the research. Like,
no, he
does
good.
do it.
He's so good.
He's so good.
Right, that's what Joanna said. So good.
Will you read these two ads, and then I got a couple.
I had one more thing, but
get there. You'll get there.
Do you find yourself disappointed with the currently available children's Bibles, Darren? Dissatisfied with added dialogue and cartoon illustrations?
Yes.
I thought so.
Yes.
Meet Palma, a distinctly different approach to children's Bible stories. Palma books set young minds up for success in understanding God's word by engaging them through poetic rhyme and vividly beautiful illustrations without sacrificing biblical accuracy. with 2 stories available and a 3rd coming out soon. All the books in Palma series include the biblical passages that the story is actually based on, as well as discussion questions for your little ones at the end. Learn more. Check out palmastorybooks.com. That's palmastorybooks.com, or find them at Palma Storybooks on Instagram. The mission of Armored Republic is to honor Christ by equipping free men with tools of liberty necessary to preserve their God-given rights. In the Armored Republic, there's no king but Christ. We are free craftsmen. Body armor is a tool of liberty, and we create those tools of liberty. Free men must remain ever vigilant against tyranny wherever it appears, and God has given us the tools of liberty needed to defend the rights he's bestowed upon us. Armored Republic is honored to offer you those tools. So visit them today at ar500armor.com. Again, that's the letters AR, the number 500-500-armor.com.
What was your last point, or did you already?
Last point is, and this is something I was thinking, and then William Wolf, our friend, actually got interviewed somewhere, and I saw a clip that he where he was interviewed about this whole thing, and he said it really well. So, but I had same thing that occurred to me is like, this is like, it's kind of akin to your this is like a bad Christian band, kind of point. Is like, but I want to tie it less to the show and more to the sexuality thing. It's like LGBTQ stuff is so over,
right?
It's like like you missed the bus. Like this is like it was really cool in the late teens, in early 20s. Obviously it was always perverted, but it was like that was where it was on the ascendancy.
It's the peak of its was the attraction, peak. And support.
Like Trump is kind of like America being like, no, we're not doing that.
Right.
Like we're not doing drag queens. We're not doing this stuff anymore. Like you guys, I think red-blooded, red state America, whatever, middle flyover America is like, look, if you guys want to do that stuff over there, fine, but stop foisting it on us. Stop putting your rainbow flags everywhere. Stop putting your tranny stuff in Target. Stop, but it's like, don't do your Dylan Mulvaney thing on our Bud Light.
Yep.
Right. The whole moment, I think it's like a real massive misreading of the moment. It's like, this is not the moment to defend this. And to try to keep pushing this, I think it's it was always shameful. It was always perverse. It was always evil. It was always against God's law. But in terms of cultural momentum, it's really tone deaf.
Yeah.
Even if all you're doing is like, if you're like HBO Max or whatever it is that's trying, is that who's doing Max is doing this? Like if you're just like paying attention to where culture is going and you care about just selling stuff. I mean, I'm curious what you think about this, Darren, but like, it seems to me like the Bud Light Target, thing is like, that's not going to sell.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're just going by dollars, it's like, that's not cool and it's not going to sell. And that's why I'm wondering, and not only, you guys were saying production wise, it looks a little bit campy and kind of lame, but I'm just wondering, even with that, like on top of that, you got the evangelical outrage. And then it's just like, I also just think you've got American, like, people are just done with that. Like, stop pushing that on us.
I'll try to make my point with an observation. Rick Beato is on YouTube, musician, producer, does all this amazing music breakdown stuff. He's fantastic. But once a month, he'll go through the top 10 songs on Spotify.
Okay.
Kind of just break them down, give his take on them. Yeah. And one of the things he mentioned last night, just last night watching it, was he said, when you hear these top 10 songs in the world right now, you kind of think, I don't even know who that is. Or I don't like, how is that the top? Like, And he said, when the machine was able to control everything, we can think of what hits used to sound like.
Mm-hmm.
And those were the hits that could really be across the entire country, kind of a mass appeal, kind of still hits, but kind of a vanilla hit, everyone. And now, because there's no more gatekeepers in that world, when you look at the top 10, the only thing you need now to be a hit is repeatability, meaning that people listen to it over and over again. You don't have to get 50 million people. You just got to get 1 million people over and over. And it made me think about how today anyone can do anything, can create a show, can put out music. Nothing's stopping anyone from doing that. And I still think this world is coming to an end, or it just finds its niche. Mm-hmm. But it's almost, to Chip's point, like, there's plenty of stuff out there.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Don't be sad about my show.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. In a weird way, I agree with Chip. Like, no one needs any of this.
Yeah.
No one. There's plenty of things to watch. Like I said, I'm watching my kids watch Ryan Trahan go across the country doing 50 states, and he's pulling in 4 million people a day. Him and his wife, they're in their mid-20s. They're having a great time. They're 2 Christians. They're having a blast. 4 million people a day. There is nothing on the Magnolia Network that's getting 4 million people a day watching. There's nothing on HBO getting 4 million people a day. Go to YouTube. You got something like that, and that's a daily drop. They're 2 days behind on production. They're sending everything up to the cloud. They got 2 people editing it, and then within 2 days, it's going.
It's out.
And he's raising money for St. Jude's. They're over $5 million right now, like 30 days in. Everything about it is as wholesome as you could, and it's a great show. The way they do it, it's fantastic. We have so many options. Like this is just like, okay, they were on the team. We knew who Chip and Joanna were, but they're not on the team anymore. Moving on. They've got a pastor. I've seen him. That's okay. Have at it.
Well, and part of this is just like, one of the things that makes good art is the repeatability of the consumption of it, or the repeatability of going back and viewing it, or reading the poem again, or whatever. And so you make a really good point just about like, I could get pretty much anybody could release a song or a video or something and get people to watch the first 3 seconds of it, right?
Yep, right.
But what if it's good? It's like, can you watch it, and then do you show it to your kids, and do you watch it? Star Wars, Indiana Jones, that kind of thing, where it's like you're watching it again and again, and then you repeat it with your kids, and you watch it again and again, and that's something. I mean, they might get some views on it, but is this repeatable, and is it good art? The other thing I was thinking about all this was, time and time again, some Christian couple, God blesses, and they rise in fame and stardom and money or whatever, and they compromise. And that, to me, is probably the most discouraging or frustrating thing here, where it's like, God blessed you. We all supported you in your rise. We loved it, and then here you are compromising in very significant ways and kind of almost late to the ball with the homosexual thing. Past the ball's over, the dance is over.
After the ball.
After the ball, right, which is a book on all this.
Anybody? Dog whistle.
And so now you have Christians compromising. I was just kind of thinking of who are a couple Christians who kind of, was in the arts, was in the media industry, was in music or movies or whatever, who rose to fame and didn't compromise. I mean, I can think of like Skillet, our boys at, John Cooper, I can't think of really that many that have kind of rose and done well in this world. But I think part of it is because you got a pastor who's not doing well locally. You got a pastor who's not, if honestly, my brother and Nate, they produce movies. You produce movies and content, and I think Pastor Wilson would talk to you guys if something like this happened, help you sort through it or whatever, or rebuke you if it was a situation that needed to be rebuked. But it's like,
I mean, this is where I differ with some of my brothers on the whole, plundering the Egyptians. I think the whole plundering the Egyptian thing is stupid. I think it's the stupidest concept, but we'd have to unpack that. I just think it's the most out of context sort of paradigm.
And it can be kind of cheap. It can be used in a cheap way too. Sure.
But people want things that they can't afford. People want things that they can't produce. People want because they need somebody else's money. Like that's my only definition of what I have to live with for my own rules in my own life about being punk rock. I don't need anybody's money. So I'm happy making C+ material. Like I'm not trying, like when you need other people's money, like you're in trouble.
It's a whole different ballgame. To build the
Magnolia Network and to build all those shows and all that stuff. I mean, you need producers, editors, line producers, everything.
Directors, writers.
You need somebody else's money. And
now you're bought.
Right. And going back to Ryan Trahan, he's literally using his iPhone for the number one show.
He doesn't need anybody's money.
He doesn't need anyone's money.
That's right.
And has more than anyone else.
Right. And raising money for people while he's doing it. I think if, my whole sort of the last 10 years of my trajectory and thing, I would only try to encourage people because there's some sort of like, what's the lesson here? Just don't try to get other people's money. Don't try to plunder the Egyptians. Like just figure out what you can start with. Have the patience to build something and not need all those things. But people have ideas, and they think their ideas are worth going and getting a lot of money to go execute on.
Right.
That process is...
It's a harder road, but
right.
it's the right... And a lot of times, it's the right road.
Well, that's the thing, though, is like, even like, I don't know how Chip and Joanna got into their Fixer Upper show, but like, I mean, like, I think it probably just started with them just flipping houses.
Renovating houses.
Renovating houses.
In Waco, Texas.
Yeah, and like, you know, like she's got the design eye and can kind of plan it out, and he's a go-getter, normal dude that can, you know, build stuff and tear things down. And it's, but I think it probably started that way.
Yeah.
And just normal people doing normal stuff. And you find your spot, you find your thing. One of the things that I remember this, Jenny and I, a number of times, watch an episode and enjoy it and watch, you know, the back and forth and the and you know, things that go well, things that don't go well, but there is like something about that idea of a storyline of a you know, this broken down place. It looks kind of lame, it looks kind of dated, and then this makeover that I think like it appeals to everybody.
Yeah,
because everybody wants a makeover.
Right.
Like, you know, everybody wants hope like that. Everybody wants, and Jenny would say, you know, it's like, it really is kind of like the gospel.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, this is what God does with us.
Yeah.
Like God takes us and it's even more dramatic. It's way more dramatic.
I think even a husband and wife working together.
Yeah.
I think because that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Or golfing together.
Yeah.
Golfing.
Yeah. Right.
But
you know, it's unfortunate because I think in this moment, it's like what we're saying is like, you know, like there's a sense in which do you really believe that, Chip and Joanna? Like, do you believe? Like, I mean, I would assume that this has occurred to you, but it's like, what about these completely twisted families?
Yeah,
that need makeovers. Like, I mean, all our families need makeovers, but
Sure.
but what about these ones that you're saying they're so good? Like you're saying, I won't do the makeover.
But there's a difference between needing a makeover and, you know, I mean, as a pastor, I'm sure you've seen this, right? I mean, well, I'm sure it's all you see. It's one thing just to see a couple, a guy and a girl, maybe new Christians or maybe not even Christians yet, right? And they're living together, doing all that stuff, right? And it's like, well, but it's the right direction.
Mm-hmm. No, I know.
It's the right.
Some of the ones we're talking about here have like the foundation is complete. There's no foundation.
Yeah, it's like, so it's the right direction. It's going the right way. It's just off the tracks, right? But sometimes people get off the tracks and then they go the opposite way,
right?
Yeah.
Right. And by the time you get to the two dads and the throuple and all, like it's going, and that's where there's a form of judgment that it appears like judgment because we're saying, hold on, no, you're not even going the right way.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
No, absolutely.
Right.
No, absolutely. No, I don't mean to like overdo that analogy, but I'm just saying like it seems to me like that's their brand. Their brand is this idea of like God fixes pieces of junk.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so like
we're all fixer-uppers.
Exactly. That was my point. I'm just saying like, but it's like in this moment they're like, no, you're fine.
You can't fix her up gay families.
Yeah, but when Joanna gets on there and says, you're so good.
Yeah.
She's like, you know, this little trash pile is so good.
Right.
It's like, no, like
you wouldn't look at a house, a fixer-upper house.
You would never say that
right.
when you look at a shack. You say, no, we need to make this new. And that's what's maybe particularly disappointing.
I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the show. It's Beer and Psalms.
Yeah.
It's Beer and Psalms Wednesday.
Okay,
and it's Psalm 3. I'll just share. I don't need a whole beer. You just crack yours open. You just pour a little of mine. These are our boys out of Indiana.
Yeah.
What's their name? Their band?
My Soul Among Lions.
My Soul Among Lions. This is one of my favorite songs and versions from them.
Yeah, they did it really well with this Psalm 3.
Yeah. And this is Psalm 3.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this segment is. What's going on?
Beer and Psalms.
I'm going to read a psalm and I'm going to talk about it. And you're going to just sit there and sip beer.
And drink beer. That's it.
I had no idea what
for
the
me and you.
segment was.
Cheers.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go if you want.
No, I didn't know what we were doing. It's like
Psalm 3, a psalm of David, when he fled from Absalom, his son. Lord, how are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God. Selah. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory, and the lifter up of mine head. I cried unto the Lord with my voice. He heard me out of his holy hill. Selah. I laid me down and slept. I awaked, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God. For thou hast smitten all my enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord. Thy blessing is upon thy people. Selah. The heading of this psalm says it is the psalm that David composed when he had to flee from Absalom, his son. Ooh. This was a terrible and embarrassing moment in David's reign. His own son turned the hearts of Israel against their king. And a vast conspiracy threatened David's life. And it was so bad, he had to run for his life. They literally had to flee
from
Jerusalem.
Son.
Yes.
Wow.
And and this is not just any enemies. These enemies are of David's own house, his own family, his own son and friends who turned against him. And we can add to this, these enemies, this whole revolution, this revolt, are the direct result of David's sin. We know this because after David sinned with Bathsheba, he committed adultery, then he sent her husband to the front of the battle lines to be murdered. Even after his repentance for that sin, God said that part of the consequences of his sin would be that the sword would never depart from his house, and that one from David's own house would take his wives and then sleep with them in the sight of the sun. That's what it says in 2 Samuel 12, 10 and 11. And then when Absalom rode into Jerusalem during this revolt, the first thing he did was sleep with David's concubines in the sight of all Israel. 2 Samuel 16, 21 and 22. So this psalm, this prayer, is not only for help in a desperate and shameful moment in David's reign. It's not only a moment of political peril and turmoil, not only personal danger, but deep shame and embarrassment. And David prays, God is my shield, God is my glory, and God is the lifter up of my head. First off, notice it is perfectly fine and good for God's people to cry out for help, even when we have sinned and have caused the trouble that is coming upon us. David's crying out to God when the very consequences for his sin are falling upon him. God is our shield, and he is our shield even from ourselves and from the consequences of our actions. He's the perfect shield. And in his sovereignty, he does not let anything touch us that will not be for our ultimate good and holiness. And to the extent that our troubles are our enemies, or our enemies do try to take advantage of us, God intervenes. He does not let it go beyond what we can actually bear. He says God is his glory as well. That means that whatever is embarrassing or shameful in our lives or in our families, if we've confessed our part in it, God's glory covers our nakedness. The obedience and faithfulness of Jesus is our royal clothing. We see this in miniature when maybe people make all kinds of accusations about someone, and then some important, respected person in our culture defends them, maybe invites them to spend some time with them so that the paparazzi get pictures with them or whatever. And it silences all the accusations. In our case, we really have sinned shamefully, but God has come down in Christ and he stands with us. He was born of a woman, lived an ordinary human existence with all its ordinary troubles and challenges. He was betrayed and falsely accused, beaten, mocked, and spit on before being nailed to a cross naked to die in front of jeering crowds. He endured the shame of our sin, and then he was vindicated by God in his resurrection 3 days later. They accused him falsely of all these things, treated him terribly, and then God raised him from the dead 3 days later, proving that he was innocent of all of those things. And then he comes and he stands with us. He defends us. If God is for us, who can be against us? What accusation can stand against us? God is our glory. And then David says God is the lifter of his head. That means that he is the one who gives us confidence. He's the one that gives us courage. Think of a lifted head as being confident, being courageous. Think about the shame that David just faced, going out of Jerusalem weeping. And there had been significant sin, as well as parenting fails that led up to that moment. But David could face that moment because God was with him. God's the one who lifts your head in confidence and courage. And in David's case, he's thinking about being restored to his throne. God, you will lift my head. If that moment comes, when that moment is right, you will do it. God will lift his head and restore him as a king. But God's always the one who lifts heads. He's always the one who raises up kings and princes and judges, and then he puts them down as he pleases. So as we pray that God would restore our land, our nation, we're praying that God would raise up more and more faithful Christian leaders, faithful pastors, police officers, businessmen, judges, county commissioners, senators, This will require great resolve on our part, hard work, sacrifice, courage, suffering. But that determination is only part of what is necessary. Ultimately, God is the one who must lift up our heads and restore Christian authority in this land.
That's right.
So how do you know if you're pursuing authority and leadership in the right way or the wrong way? Well, notice the results for David. He cries out to God, casts all his cares on him, and then he goes to sleep. There's a huge difference between actually casting your cares upon the Lord and just worrying in front of God, or just having a bad attitude and then trying to turn that somehow into a prayer. Well, I said, help God, in Jesus' name, amen, at the end of a rant. We know that David really had cast his cares on the Lord because then he went to sleep. And he says he would have slept just as soundly if there had been thousands camped around him. So think of Psalm 127 as well. We do not guard or keep watch over our cities rightly unless we do it knowing that God is guarding and watching over our cities. We don't build our families and our businesses rightly unless we build knowing that God is the one who builds our houses. We do not build our families or churches or businesses or communities unless God is the one building them and guarding them. And all of this is really hard work. And we are surrounded by our enemies, and we are surrounded by our own sins and the consequences of those sins. Many are they who rise up against us. And often what has risen up against us is a direct result of our previous failures and sins. Maybe you squandered your early 20s or your teen years, or maybe your 30s. Maybe you train wrecked a previous marriage, or maybe some of your children are older and not walking with the Lord. And many say that our God does not exist and he cannot help us. We really are building houses and cities, businesses and churches in the midst of a great war full of treachery and disappointment, hardship and shame. We really are in a great conflict with enemies all around us. But God is our shield, God is our glory, and he is the lifter of our heads. He fights for us. He strikes our enemies on the cheek. He breaks out their teeth. Salvation belongs to our God and no one else.
And if he lifts up your head, don't compromise like Chip and Joanna.
Right.
If you're single, get married. If you're married, have kids. If you have kids, go baptize them. Until next week, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. Go fight, laugh, and feast. This is Cross Politic. Cheers to the King.
That was like an old school, like Chuck Colson Breakpoint. Like that was like one of those like Christian radio. Like I was, that was nice.
You're hearing the waves on the AM radio too.
No.